In terms of riding, I was a little surprised at how slow SmartECO is. Okay, remember what they've done is they've reduced the power that they're taking out of the motor, so everything is slower, which amounts to 10 kmph lost in top speed, but 10 kmph gained in range.
10 kilometers gained in range. Okay.
Yeah. So whether
and that range goes up to 100?
159 on the 3.7 kilowatt hour battery versus 150 on the previous scooter, roughly 153 or something, and it goes up to 120 something now, whereas it used to be 110 something previously. So if you take a 2.9 battery scooter, and you can get the S and the X in 2.9, you'll get roughly 110 IDC ranges. These are not real world numbers. And if you take the 3.7, which is only available as the X, then you'll get 159 IDC. Okay. 70% of that is roughly what you're looking at as a real world number. Right?
Understood.
But when I took it out in SmartECO, first slope, and I'm at full throttle, and I enter this slope doing 45, and then it starts to lose speed as it climbs, and over the course of the next 100-150 meters of this slope, I exit doing 30. And to me, that's a flag. Why should it do that? Because how is this thing going to climb flyovers? Because there are flyovers that are definitely steeper than this one slope. So then obviously Nandi Hills was next. So I went up. It never falls below 18 kilometers an hour. But it is so aggressively protecting your range that it basically will not give you performance. So if you live in a relatively flat city, I think SmartECO has enough performance. But if you live in a hilly place, or the city you live in has places where it goes up and down the hill quite a bit, I'd like you to check out SmartECO up one of those slopes before you commit to buying a Rizta.
Was SmartECO supposed to be smart?
You can prioritize one of the two. I think on the Ather, performance got a lot more priority than it gets on the Rizta. They've reorganized their agenda. So look, it's the only eco mode you've got and you can't switch off the smart. And it prioritizes range above all else. So to me, if I were Ather, I'd consider one of two things. One is, let me switch off smart so I can access eco in full performance. Because what it's doing is it's limiting how much torque the motor will give you right now. The other way to do it is the Bajaj way to do it, which is when I open the throttle beyond a certain point, let me temporarily go into zip mode and then kick me out of zip mode 10 seconds later or whenever I close the throttle next, is a smarter way to ride this scooter than it is right now.
Okay.
I was a little surprised at how conservative they've been on the performance, because in zip mode it feels actually completely
But you also spoke about flyovers. Like, how much of an issue will it be in that kind of a scenario?
It will lose speed climbing for sure.
Okay, so what feel that I'm getting is that whereas with the 450X, you felt in command, and like, let's say on the road, you were actually in a way like somebody who's carrying authority. You were on a scooter, but that electric made you feel steps ahead of the traffic.
And this is not the Rizta's agenda at all. So even in zip mode, it's not like, whoa, so fast. Never. It's calm, it's calculated.
But in the same scenario?
No, there's no problem in zip mode. This is the algorithm messing in SmartECO alone.
So in zip mode,
there is no problem. It's not fast. I cannot call.
That's fine.
I cannot call the Rizta fast in zip mode. It is quick enough. After that, then it is a normal Ather. It's just a very calm Ather. Okay, if you remember, 450X was aggressive. 450S was a heck of a lot smoother. The Rizta has that kind of smoothness, but without that level of performance. It's just a little bit calmer in feel. And the assumption is family scooter riders will never go really fast. And I think that is a flawed assumption. So, family scooter rider who wants to go a little bit quicker will have to go back to zip mode. And if you live in the hilly areas, it might be the only mode you'll ever get to use.
And the 159 kilometer, so the scooter starts up in SmartECO by default?
Whatever mode you left it in, as far as I can remember. Again, my particular scooter had a slightly broken mode switch. So I had lots of trouble switching between the modes. After a while, I just gave up. I checked all the other scooters there. Mine was the one with the broken return spring. So basically, when you switch a mode, it won't recenter. So you'll have to fiddle with it before it recentered. And Ather saying, we don't know why this happens, but this only happens to the scooters that I pick. So I was like, yeah, okay, it has something to do with me, why not? Sure.
Right now, this is a bit of the serious conversation, but you can catch all the fun factor on the full video, which is on the MotorInc channel. So head out there and subscribe. And if you want more of these shorter clips, do subscribe to this channel as well.